slithery motherfucker.
Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My name is Mike Ian. For today's video, let's talk about The Goodbye to the Boys. So, in case you don't watch the show or you just haven't been scrolling on Instagram or TikTok like for even 2 minutes, The Boys just wrapped up its season 5, which is the end of the series itself. And there are some planned spin-offs like Vought Rising, The Boys Mexico, but I am here to talk about The Goodbye to the Boys. Now, The Boys actually goes a little bit deeper for me, and I'll explain why in a bit, but let's just go over a few things I want to talk about first. For one, The Boys was my first non-Marvel superhero show, so it wasn't my first non-Marvel like superhero type media, because I think I'd watched Chronicle beforehand, and I can't remember the exact order of what I know Chronicle was something that I watched apart from Marvel DC beforehand. But The Boys was the first superhero TV show, apart from Marvel, that I actually watched. And right off the bat, I knew this is definitely something different from, the vibes of other shows that I watched, because this was right off the bat something more violent and, a bunch of other things compared to other superhero media or just other media that I had watched it by then in general. And I gotta say, this show did a good job in so many aspects, like the characters. Huey is such a good character, Billy Butcher.
William? What a surprise!
Homelander is such a good villain. MM is just, MM is really cool too, and Starlight, and I can go on and on without the characters. I thought the characters themselves were amazing. I'm not going to touch up on the really, really inappropriate moments. That's not something I do here on this channel. When I first started watching them, it was about 2024, so I forced myself to only do one episode a day, and every single episode wanted me to, pop in the next one, I wanted to binge watch this whole thing, because every single episode had me intrigued and really wanting to know what's going to happen next. Spoiler warnings from this point on now, by the way. Every season I thought this is the season where they beat Homelander. They don't. This is the season where they beat Homelander. They don't. Eventually I figured out Homelander isn't losing until this show actually ends. If I had to pick a favorite season, it's probably going to be season 3. I believe that's the one where Soldier Boy is first introduced.
What the fuck did you say?
Gerber Life is accepting applications for their affordable grow-up plan.
And there's just so many stories going on. It's just such a good, compelling, it's just a really good season. The fights are also amazing in that one. Seeing the Temp V storyline is also really cool to me. Just, Queen Maeve absolutely beating down Homelander and being able to take down Soldier Boy is amazing too. It was such a good season. Not to mention how good this show is at redeeming their characters. A-Train, everybody knows. A-Train was one of the reasons this show even had its plot in the first place, with A-Train running and, killing Huey's girlfriend. To take him from a cold-hearted corporate soup to make him into an actual superhero was awesome.
What the hell are you doing in here?
Nothing.
You left a floater in his toilet?
I mean, this show really had everything. It had some good comedy, it had great writing.
Right. I love you too. Okay. Right.
It had distinctive dialogue that you don't see the typical cliche lines here and there. Of course, every show is going to have their cliche lines here and there, but this one didn't have just only that. Now, I'm not just going to talk about the movies and review each season, because there's already plenty of videos that do that. I want to talk about why The Boys goes deeper for me. And there's actually 3 main reasons why. One, I watched this show when I was in pro wrestling camp, and it was really cool because you may have seen me mention it in past videos. Wrestling camp was definitely something that really pushed my limits, and going home to watch The Boys after a day to kind of unwind a little bit, get myself ready for bed was really cool. And there would be days where I was a little bit down on myself because I didn't think I performed the best way I could maybe in camp, or maybe I could have done better in certain things. And it was I'd be a little bit down on myself for that, I will admit. The Boys really kind of took me out of that, got me out of the real world for a little bit of escape, and it was really cool. So I actually recommended the show to my dad, and I watched the show with my dad. Well, I'd already watched the show, so I was rewatching it, but I was watching it with him, and before I moved out, it was one of the last shows me and him would watch together, every time he'd be like, hey, you want to watch a Huey? So, and then we'd watch The Boys. So that was really cool. It was special for that. And it's a little special, because I always had shows that I watched with either my mom or my dad. My mom, I would watch The Big Bang Theory with her, or...
Can you believe it?
That's a good point. What if I'm dreaming?
Another show I'd watch would be maybe Modern Family. There's a few other shows that I would like to watch with my mom. I think I watched Wednesday Addams with my mom. That's another one I did. And then my dad, I would watch other shows. I think I watched The Office with him. So The Boys and Gen V were the ones I would watch with my dad. Those were one of the last ones, and Smiling Friends.
Where you were? We thought you went crazy.
Yep, guess I'm Oogaloo.
So those were like one of the last ones I'd watched with my dad. So, you know, just like being able to sit there and you know, poke fun at the show sometimes or make like little like jokes about the show sometimes was a really cool bonding experience for me and my dad. So that was really cool. And like I said, it was one of the last shows I watched before I moved out and moved here to LA to become an actor. You can watch my past videos about that. And one final thing is the influence it's had on my own writing. So in case you didn't know, I wrote a Spider-Man 2099 live action movie. I'm also writing a live action movie of Vulcan for the DCU. I'm hoping I can pitch it someday. But I'm not writing it for DCU, like they're not hiring me. I'm writing it because I want to write it. But so to be able to take inspiration, not just from purely Marvel movies, to have all these other branches to take inspiration from, I think honestly The Boys is one of the ones I take the most inspiration from, in that I want to use more like grittiness in my superhero movies. And not to say like it's gonna be bleak, you know, I still like to focus on the subjects of I still like to focus on the idea that superheroes are sources of hope, sources of, you know, strength and courage and a lot of things, you know. But I do take a lot of inspiration from The Boys in terms of, you know, rated R dialogue and stuff like that. And The Boys deals with more like real world problems, or it stays like problems that you'd see closer to real Earth, like compared to like other superhero shows. Like, I don't think I'm gonna ever have to deal with, you know, Thanos coming in and like snapping me out of existence, but
stand ready for my arrival, worm.
But, you know, The Boys dealing with stuff like social injustices and many other things. I kind of took that of being able to blend real world issues and other things and being able to put them into my movie. But yeah, to wrap up, that third point has a big impact on Spider-Man 2099 and Vulcan. That's not to say I'm just ripping it off, you know, right? This is my own original story. I'm getting inspiration, of course, you know. And of course, I'm going to mention The Boys isn't the only thing I take inspiration for these projects. Of course, I have Invincible.
How do we beat him?
That's the neat thing. You don't.
I have Marvel, DC, specifically Smallville right now is one I'm pretty big on. But yeah, I said it on my story on Instagram. The Boys honestly has put itself as a maybe top 5, top 3 show of all time for me. I really, really liked it. I know people are a little bit divided on the series finale, and I respect other people's opinions, of course. That is their opinion. I like to believe that every piece of media has its flaw, right? There isn't a single piece of film and TV that is perfect, in my opinion. Everything has its own flaws, but that's the beauty of it. It's not, if it were perfect, then would it really be art? I liked all 5 seasons. I am very satisfied with the finale. I'm really satisfied with how each character ended and all. There's so many things. I'm not going to delve into it more though, because I'm sure you've seen countless people talk about their opinions on the season specifically and all that. I'm just here to say a good old goodbye. A thank you to the cast and the crew that worked on it. And hey, Eric Kripke, I know you have some other spin-offs. I'm an actor based in LA, so, you know, long shot, but you could always count me in for any kind of super role, for any kind of soup role in the Vought universe. Yeah, I think we're going to end it there. I know I was supposed to talk about the Orville for this video, but I want to talk about The Boys, and I want to talk about The Boys now because it just ended and all that. But the Orville will be the next video. I'm going to be talking about the Orville by Seth MacFarlane.
Lieutenant Malloy taught me this song. I will now sing it. Oh! You will be silent!
Well, fuck you!
And yeah, let's end the video there. Have a great day, everyone. Work hard. Be mighty.